Welcome to My The Asshole Podcast. Let's get into it. All right, today is a beautiful Sunday. We are not going to do a thread today. We are going to do a bunch of just scenario after scenario, obviously submitted by our Patreons. Jesus, blah, 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 blah. But before we get into those, I wanted to talk to you guys really quick, briefly, about the Love is Blind Season 6 reunion that had just come out. And it was actually a pretty good fucking reunion. I was very surprised how good the reunion was. Now, standout thing, they got in Trevor's ass. Woo, man. Oh my God, Nick Lachey and all them, they were in his ass. They were just like, so were you on here just to be on TV or what? What's going on here? Blah, blah, blah. And they showed the receipts and texts, all that dirt. Oh, he wasn't the only one that had a fire under his ass, bro, because, what was homeboy's name? Jeremy. Jeremy got it bad too. Man, Jeremy and Sarah Ann, I'm not gonna lie to you, because they brought Laura on, via the I don't know if it was Skype or video call or whatever it was, but they brought Laura on and she was talking and whatnot, and oh man, you could just tell, bro. Oh, you could tell they were just putting Jeremy's feet to the fire, man, and then Sarah Ann's too, but more Jeremy's. And that dude, he stuck to his story. He was like, we did not sleep together, we not do anything. Come on, man, I don't know about all that. Stop the cap. I don't know about all that, G. I so think that something happened that night when they got together, at the bar, and they were talking until 5 a.m. and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, all I know is if you haven't watched it, it's worth the watch. If you have watched it, please comment what you thought about it, because man, it was great. And even Jimmy got thrown to the fire a little bit, man. Jimmy, whew, goddamn, you know what I mean? He was over here saying all these sweet things to Jessica, at the barbecue and whatnot, and then he goes on like podcasts and other stuff, and this man is talking about, oh man, she left during our last date and she was this and that, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, I thought we were friends, but apparently not, because you was talking shit on the internet. And I was like, oh man, he was talking shit on the internet? Oh no. So all I know, man, is it was a good reunion, man. I feel like they got everybody. And, I give it up to Chelsea, man. She definitely admitted to a lot of her insecurities and her faults and the things that she was doing on the show. And, she definitely saw what she was doing and was like, oh shit, you know what I mean? So I do give her kudos on that, man. And, they've been giving her shit. I even gave her shit on my show. I ain't gonna lie to you. We called her Megan Fox from Wish.com. It is what it is, man. I'm glad that she's not taking offense to a lot of the comments on internet, and she's not really it's not really affecting her negatively. I'm glad that she's kind of leaning into it and it's a joke and everything like that. She was such a good sport about it. Clay and AD, I feel like AD, I can't believe she actually went on a date with Matt. I was like, oh shit. And she was like, Matt's cute, y'all. Don't knock him. He's a cute guy. Now, don't get me wrong. Matt is a good looking guy. I just think his personality needs some tune up. His social skills is what needs a little bit of a tune up, because he is a bit of a weird guy. I'm not going to lie to you. He is a little bit of a weird guy. But I mean, looks wise, he works out, he takes care of himself, he's a good looking guy, you know what I mean? I could totally see him, getting him some, but as far as everything that, if you have seen last Sunday's episode, Amber was not really the most truthful, you know what I mean? She was kind of on the show for some clout too. I'm not going to lie to you. We showed a video of her little receipts on the outside. She was kind of pulling a Trevor, kind of not, you know what I mean? I'm surprised they didn't have her on the reunion. She probably declined it because of the receipts coming out on multiple podcasts, including mine. So I'm not 100% sure with that, but all I do know is that our boy Clay definitely revived himself, you know, like on the show, it was hard to believe a lot of the shit that he was saying because he would backtrack a lot. Like, you know, he'd be like, oh, I'm ready for marriage. Oh, I'm down for you, girl. And then he's just like, oh, well, I don't know if I can be a husband. I don't know if I'm ready. And it's like, dude, you're so flippy floppy. How can I trust what you're saying is actually what you mean, you know? And so, but I feel like at the reunion, he finally kind of was like, you know what? I do understand, you know, like where he was coming from. And then, you know, he wanted to pretty much emulate Brett, you know, from a previous season. I think his was season 5. It might have been 5 or no, his was season 4. And, you know, honestly, Brett, he's like the perfect guy. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like if you go back and you watch season 4 of Love is Blind and you see Brett's relationship with his now wife, you would just be like, holy shit. Like this man is ridiculous. This man was crafted in a factory or something, you know. It's crazy because like not only is he tall, is he good looking, he's buff, and he's got money and style, and I'm like, nigga. And then on top of that, you're a great husband. I'm like, how, you know? So I definitely get it when Clay was talking about like, I want to be like him, because it's like, I think every guy wants to be like him, but not many of us can, you know. Hell, I'm not saying I can't even be like that. That dude is just, like I said, he's crafted in a factory type shit. So I don't know. I think a lot of people on this season definitely redeemed themselves from how they acted on the show, and they definitely saw themselves and was like, oh God, that was me, you know. So I don't know. It was a good reunion. That's all I'm gonna say on it. Like I said, they got in people's asses on that shit, and I loved it. I loved that a lot of the problematic people, if you will, got checked, because even Sarah Ann, you know, her ass got checked too, and Laura was vicious with it. She was like, bitch, fuck you. So I mean, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and get announcements out of the way right now, and then we will just get into our scenarios. So patreon.com/Am I the Asshole podcast. $3 a month gets you an exclusive episode every single Friday, as well as being able to send in your scenarios to the show like these people did today. Listening platforms. There we go. Jesus. Things are escaping my mind right now. Listening platforms. Thank you guys so much for all the support. Please keep downloading as well as rating the podcast. It helps a lot. If you would like to help more on the free 99 side of things, TikTok as well as Instagram, follow us there for the clips. If you don't have time for a full podcast, I always have the clips there. I am posting a lot more regularly now, so you know, we're doing good with that. And then if you want to help even more on the free 99 side, youtube.com/Am I the Asshole podcast, Am I the Asshole podcast, all one word, or go to the link tree and click YouTube there. Hit the subscribe button. Subscribing helps a lot. Even if you don't watch over there, a subscription does help. That is all that's all I got for you guys in this. Now let's just get into the scenarios. Okay. So our first one is a pretty short one. My boyfriend recorded a girl at the gym without her permission. Okay, that's creepy. I was going through my boyfriend's phone and I found a video he recorded of a girl at a gym from right outside my door. He deleted the video the same day and I found it in his trash. His excuse is that he was drunk.
Stop the cap.
Come on, man. Drunk. He was drunk. I have ended things because I felt it was creepy that he did that. He is not accepting it. Am I wrong for breaking up with him? Fuck no. No, you're not. Dude, that's creepy. Even if you are drunk, and you're not drunk going to the gym, bro. Come on, man.
Stop the cap.
Come on. You not drunk going to the gym. That's not going to happen, man. You know, like, let's be honest here. And then you out here recording girls like that. Dude, that's creepy. Okay, that's creepy to the fucking max. She is so not wrong for breaking up with that dude. Because, like, it's one thing, you know, to maybe look at another woman or lust over another girl, whatever the case may be. That's one thing. But if you're going out of your way to, like, take pictures of her secretly and videotape her secretly, that is weird to the max. You know, like, nah, man, you don't need to be with that creepy. All right. Our next one. What was I being cheated on, or was I left? Wait, hold on. Was I being cheated on, or was I left so they could see someone else? Oh, did they leave so they could see someone else, or am I just being paranoid? All right, well, let's see. I, 31 male, have been seeing this woman, 41 female, for about 4 months now. She broke up with me after a pretty heated argument about a week ago, but the past few days we've been texting saying we still love each other and miss each other. So last night I went over to her house. Not a few things to mention about her character before I continue because it is relevant. She has some of the worst OCD I've ever seen. I'm talking, she doesn't even let me put stuff on her kitchen table without something soft underneath it to prevent the table from being scratched. Needless to say, normally her house is immaculate clean. She is also a night owl. She usually sleeps all day and is awake from 8 p.m. till 8 a.m. After we broke up at some point, she suddenly changed up she changed up her sleep schedule in a massive way. She now wakes up at like 5 a.m. and goes to bed around like 7 p.m. I also noticed when I went to her house that there were 2 towels hung up in the shower, as well as a washcloth hanging over the part of the tub the water comes out of. She never puts her shower stuff coming out where the water, a washcloth hanging over the part of the tub where the water comes out of, where she never puts her shower stuff. Normally she puts her washcloths on the shower rack with the other bath stuff. I also noticed she had cooked possibly the other day. It's hard to tell because her house was a massive mess, so there's a possibility that she just didn't do. Wait, hold on. Golly, I'm trying to read it verbatim, but he has a lot of mistakes. It's hard to tell because her house was a massive mess. So there's a possibility that she just didn't do this. But I noticed in the cookware where she used that. Okay, he put a different word. There were 2 forks and 2 steak knives in the sink with dishes. With the dish the food was prepared in last night. We had sex and I was going to go down on her, and she really freaked and was insistent that I didn't eat her out, saying she was feeling insecure about it because last time I went down on her, TMI incoming, she tasted like she didn't wipe properly after going pee, and I didn't say something. Okay. When I asked about the towels, she said they were both hers and that she was just lazy and depressed since we broke up, and when she grabbed a new towel, she just didn't throw the old one down the chute. Her excuse for the mess all over the house was also the same. She was just depressed and lazy lately. I also noticed she had some beer cans in her recycling, as well as 2 cases of Coca-Cola, which was also really weird because she literally drinks water like a fish, and her reasoning for that was that she just didn't have any purified water for a few days, so she was drinking soda instead. Now, I don't want to view her as the type that would cheat or leave someone for someone else. Up until all these very recent sudden changes in her habits and everything, I never suspected her of doing anything like that, and I do love her a lot, so I know I'm letting that allow me to potentially be ignoring red flags that possibly shouldn't be there. So I'm asking for third-party opinions. I also figure I should mention I do have paranoid schizophrenia, so situations like this always make my brain automatically assume the worst usually. I mean, you guys broke up and then got back together. So it's like if she did go mess with somebody, I mean, it's not like she cheated on you, bro. You know, and then it could have been a thing where it was just a rebound guy, you know. She probably was so mad at you and looked at it like, oh man, fuck you, dude. And she, you know, hit some guy up, and she was like, come over, and he was like, cool. She was like, I'm gonna cook this nigga a meal, and, you know, make this coochie a meal and everything, or make this coochie dessert, you know. I honestly, with everything that was going on, you know, if she's that habit of a person, I don't think that she would, you know, break those habits just because, you know, she's sad or depressed or whatever. I really think it was a thing where she had her little rebound situation, and then, you know, she realized, man, you know, I don't really like this guy. I don't really care about this guy. And she probably just wasn't mad at you no more or whatever. And then she wanted to get back with you. You know what I mean? Like, dude, if I'm being honest with you, the proof is kind of all there that she did do something. And she's not going to tell you that. She's not going to sit there and be like, oh, well, you know, yeah, I had a guy over, and it's because I was mad at you, and I fucked him and made him dinner. And like, she's not going to tell you any of that shit, bro. You know what I mean? Like, you see the proof is in the pudding. Like, you should be able to put two and two together and know that something did happen. And, you know, that's up for you to accept. Do you want to get back together because you love her, or do you want to stay broken up with her because obviously she's lying to you about all this stuff? Like, there's just no way she's going to change up that quick. You know, like, the whole time she's with you, she's extremely clean and very disciplined. And, you know, she drinks nothing but water, and she's all, you know, she just never has two dishes in the thing. You know, her towels are always put away, whatever. Like, she's not just going to change up all of a sudden. It just doesn't happen that way. You know, like I said, I think it's a thing where you guys broke up. She said, all right, because you said it was a heated argument to a breakup. So I looked at it like she said, you know what? All right, fuck you, dude. You know, hit up some guy that she knows, said come over, and she was being real vindictive. She's like, I'm going to cook for this dude. You know, my pussy going to be his dessert. And, you know, she fucked him. She did the thing, whatever the case may be. And then she kind of came to realization, like, man, I don't really like this dude. She only messed with him because she was mad at you. And then that's when, you know, she got back together with you or whatever. But, you know, she didn't clean up the evidence, I guess. You know, that's what it seems like to me, is that she was mad at you. She called up some dude, hooked up with him, realized, I don't really like this dude. You know what I mean? And then decided to mess with you again. That's my thought on it, just by the information that you gave me. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think about that one in the comments. My goodness. On to our next one. I'm supposed to get married in 6 months. Okay, let's see what's up. All right, I'm a 30 female, and my fiance is a 28 male. We've been together for 5.5 years and engaged for almost 2 years. You know what I've noticed is, in the past like few weeks of doing the show, a lot of couples that have written in and stuff, it's always been the girl is like either slightly older than the guy, or just, you know, maybe like 3 or 4 years older than the guy. Like, is that a thing now? Is you know, older women and younger guys, is that a thing now? Is that, you know, because I don't know. That's just a pattern I've noticed. I don't know if that's something that you guys have noticed just watching the show or just listening to the show. I don't know. That I've been getting that. I have no idea, but I've been getting that kind of idea. But I don't know. Back to the scenario. So they've been together for 5.5 years and engaged for almost 2 years. He has a porn addiction and started seeing a therapist about a year ago to deal with the issue. His issue stems from his severe issues with his father. Throughout our relationship, he has paid for porn in OF, rather look at porn and masturbate than fool around with me. Almost met up with a girl from Reddit to cheat on me, but it didn't work out, and he confessed to it the next day. Talked to exes/girls he has liked in the past and hid it from me. I believe that he'll change, but I think deep down I'm starting to not believe that. I love him with all my heart. I wouldn't have agreed to marry him if I didn't. I don't have a job right now, and he makes all of the money, so that's another reason why I can't/won't leave. I guess I just need to vent, or I'm looking for advice. I think I need help. Ooh. See, she kind of put herself in a tough spot where she kind of needs him You know, so that's why she's tolerating and putting up with all this bullshit. And I think for him, it's a thing where he's like, holy shit, the reality of being with one woman for the rest of my life is actually setting in. And I think this happens a lot with guys, especially guys, you know, as young as him. He's only 28 years old, so he kind of looks at it like, fuck, I haven't really enjoyed women, you know? And I don't think that he loves you less, or I don't think that he doesn't want to be with you. I know from the ladies' perspective, they think, no, what do you mean? He's trying to cheat and he's doing this and doing that and da-da-da. But for a guy, it's completely different. For a guy, we know that we can love our woman and that's our girl regardless. But when the reality of holy shit, one woman for the rest of our life kind of sets in, it's like, then that's when the guys just naturally are like, shit, I need to just get it all out of my system, you know what I mean, now, because this is the only time I'm going to have to do it, because, you know, once I get into a marriage, it's going to be even worse if I were to decide to do this in the marriage than before it. And, you know, that's some fucked up logic, but it's the way they think, you know. It's not a thing of like, oh, you should think like this or you should do this. No, that's just the way it is. You know, you either accept it or you don't. You know what I mean? And is that all guys? No, because I know a lot of people like to make that dumb assertion. Oh, but not all guys. So what? That doesn't change the fact that when most guys get into a situation where they realize, oh shit, I'm about to be with one girl for the rest of my life, they feel like, oh my God, I haven't experienced women the way I wanted to. And that's where he's at mentally in his head. He's like, holy shit. And I'm not saying you should just let him go sow his oats or nothing like that, but you should really assess the situation and really have that tough conversation with him and tell him, look, you know, what is going on with you? You know what I mean? Are you having resentment with this marriage, which he'll probably say no to? Is it a thing that you feel like, you know, you're scared to just be with one woman for the rest of your life? He might lie to you and say no, you know, just to kind of spare your feelings. But I personally, as a man, think that that's what's going on, is the realization is hitting him, because you guys have been engaged for almost 2 years, mind you. Like, if this dude was ready for marriage and he was ready to go, it would have been, you guys would have gotten married, you know, a while ago. If I'm being honest with you, you guys would have gotten married probably within the year that you guys got engaged, if not that following year. But the fact that you guys have been engaged for 2 years just means that he is not ready for the marriage. He's like, oh fuck, man, you know. And then on top of that, he might even be in a position where he looks at it like, shit, I finally now have the ability to have sex with other women, but I can't because I'm in this relationship with her, you know. And so that also fucks him up, you know what I mean? And again, for a man, that doesn't mean that he loves you less, because he looks at it like, that's my main girl and that's the girl I love and I'm going to protect and provide and all that kind of stuff. You know, it's just the aspect of like, holy shit, I finally am in a position where I make enough money to where, you know what I mean, I'm attractive to a lot of women, you know, to where I'm saying, you guys have been together for 5.5 years. So 5 years ago, he's like, you know, I wasn't in that position. I was in the position of like, shit, I can barely get you, you know? And so now that he's elevated himself in those 5.5 years, he's like, holy shit. He might have always been that guy. He might have always, you know, you might have never had a job through the whole 5 years. I'm not 100% sure. This is my speculation, if I'm being honest with you. But I know that when men get to a point where they feel like, oh shit, I got this opportunity, you know, I finally have the ability to have sex with a bunch of women, you know, they want to exercise that, or they want to take that shit, because they're like, dude, I got the ability to do it. Because guys don't just naturally get that ability. They have to work hard for that ability. They got to put in the man hours and the improvement and all that kind of stuff. For girls, you know, obviously you guys just got it like that. And so you guys don't understand where a guy is coming from in that regard. And that's understandable. But I think that's where his mindset is at right now, where he's like, holy shit, you know, one girl for the rest of my life. I don't know if I can do that, you know, but he still loves you and cares about you and, you know, wants you as his main girl 100%. But I think it's just aspect of one girl for the rest of his life, having sex with her, and that's that. When he has the ability to have sex with other girls, he's just like in between that. So take that information and do with it what you will, but that's just kind of where homeboy is at. So, oof, good luck. On to our next. Am I wrong for telling my friend I wouldn't date her because of her job/income? All right. I, 27 male, have a friend. Let's call her Kate. I've known her since college, and I'd consider her one of my closest friends. She's very pretty, a good overall person, and would be a catch for a lot of people, but has had a lot of issues finding good guys to date. I recently broke up with my partner of 2 years and haven't really attempted to start dating yet. Anyway, we were hanging out this weekend, and one by one, people left the bar, and it was just us. The topic of student loans came up, and she told me how she has $111,000 left and only makes $60K. For comparison, I make $160K and had some scholarships, but also some loans, and paid off my balance while they were paused for COVID. Later on, we were talking about dating, and she asked if I'd ever thought about us as a potential couple. To be honest, I don't think this is as much of her having strong feelings for me as her thinking I'm a catch in general, right? I don't think this is as much of her having strong feelings for me as her thinking I'm a general. Okay. I did read that correctly. Okay. So he's just like, I don't think she has strong feelings. She just looks at it like I'm a catch. I told her that while she's awesome, anyone would be lucky to date her. I think of her as more of a friend. She pressed a little bit, talked about how we have almost all the same hobbies, interests, etc., and click really well. And I repeat, I like our friendship better. This happened at least 4 times when she's asked me to be brutally honest and tell her if there was something that I'm not telling her that is a turnoff to me or would be to other guys. I was honest and said money is important to me and that I don't want to date anyone who's in such a rough financial position, especially since her career doesn't have a ton of upside money-wise. She's a second grade teacher. So she's a teacher. Okay. I thought, he was like, I don't like her job because she does OnlyFans, or I don't like her job because, she's a stripper, or, you know what I mean? Like, I was thinking she was involved in a profession that he looked at it like, nah. But I think what he's thinking is like, okay, you're $110,000 in debt. And then you look at me, a man who makes $160,000 a year, and you're like, ooh, she sees dollar signs, not hearts. And she looks at it like, I'm going to date this guy so that way he can pay for my lifestyle and everything else. And I can save my money and pay off my debts, or I can use his money to pay my debts off for me. You know what I mean? And I think that's where he's kind of going. Like, I'm reading between the lines, and I think we're good friends, I'm not at all trying to trash teachers. I like a lot of mine, and society definitely needs the good ones. But I've always been more attracted to high-earning, career-method women who want to half of the power couple with me. Okay. I grew up in a financially insecure household with one parent who refused to get a better job because they thought theirs was fun, and it hurt me and my siblings. I'd also like to retire on the younger side after seeing some high-earning male family members get a rough shake and divorce. I don't want to marry someone with a big income disparity between us. Besides, in my job, I go to a lot of conferences and meet many women who earn a lot, and they often ask me out, so it's not like it's hard for me to find when I'm ready to get back out there, and when I'm ready to get back out there without trying to date my friends. Okay. So she basically says, so you don't want to date me since I'm broke. I said I wouldn't use that terminology myself, but kinda yeah. She got mad and left shortly after. I haven't talked to her since, but yesterday a mutual friend reached out to me to say she told she told her about the conversation and was really mad at me. Did I do something wrong, or should I apologize? I mean, look, man, that's your preference, and that's fine, because just like you have a preference of wanting a woman who also makes a lot of money, there are a lot of women out there that have the preference of wanting a man who makes a lot of money. It's just your preference. I mean, she can't be mad over that, and I think you understand the real reason why she's trying to get with you, and the real reason is that, she kind of wants a motherfucker that's going to help her out financially, and he just doesn't want to deal with that. He's like, dude, I don't want to deal with, a girl who is not good with money, or she can't, keep up with her shit. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, he's like, I'm not trying to marry a woman who's got a shit ton of debt, and then I got to take on that debt. That would fucking suck too. So look, I get it 100%, because like I said, that's your preference. If you want a woman who makes, as much money as you, or just like maybe a little under you, whatever the case may be, that's just your preference. She cannot be mad at that. She can't call you an asshole for what you are, preferencing in a woman, you know what I mean? But I understand, men can't have preferences nowadays, and we're demonized for what we want. So I get why she looked at it that way, but understand, man, you're not in the wrong, and no, you don't owe her an apology, because that's your preference. It just is what it is. You know what I mean? You're not going to make a girl say sorry for wanting a tall man. You're not going to make a girl say sorry because she wants a masculine guy. You know what I mean? Like, these are just preferences. They're just what we choose to, be attracted to in other people. And that just is what it is. So no, you don't owe her an apology. You're not wrong. And that's just your preference, my guy. And it is what it is. I mean, I wouldn't want to take on a girl who's got a shit ton of debt and, who's pretty much looking for me to save her, and pretty much just take advantage of the relationship. Because if I'm being honest with you, I don't really think that she actually likes you like that. I think she sees dollar signs, not hearts. And that's a, oh no. All right, on to our next one. Would I be the asshole for telling my wife she needs to do better as a stay-at-home mom? Oh, shit. My wife and I have a 2-year-old son who she watches as a stay-at-home mother. I run my own dental practice, and because of this, I am able to afford to keep her as a stay-at-home mom. Her and I were not together very long before she got pregnant, and I had to move her in after only about a year of seeing each other. We were married exactly a week after Landon was born. Okay. Since that time, she hasn't been the best. I'll frequently come home to a messy house. Our son will be unbathed, laundry not done, no dinner cooked. I've brought this up on multiple occasions, and she says Landon is a handful and she doesn't have time to get all the duties accomplished. Landon is always a piece of cake to deal with when I'm home, as well as on the weekends. So I never really believed her, but I didn't want to get into a fight. Okay. Well, last week she went out of state to visit her mother, who is in hospice. I've never met her, as they've been estranged for years, so my wife and I decided it would be better to just stay at home with Landon while she's gone. I took off work to watch Landon. It's been the easiest week of my life since I was in high school. I did the math and changed diapers average of 10 minutes a day. Cooking all the meals only took 40. Load the dishwasher took 10. Giving him a bath was about 30 minutes a piece. Cleaning took me about 25 minutes a day, and he was so well behaved. I had the best time playing around, and I only spent about an hour and a half doing actual work. I'm honestly really upset at this revelation that my wife basically does nothing all day while I work to provide for her and Landon. She gets back tomorrow, and frankly, once she is over her mother, I'm planning to tell her, after living in her shoes for about a week, I need her to step it up to the plate because the amount of effort she's putting in is unacceptable. And if she doesn't do it, I think I will have to leave her because I don't feel like taking care of 2 children. She is a bit younger than me. She's 27 while I'm 33. So I understand she hasn't grown into more mature habits. But I feel like once you become a mother who gets to stay at home and provide for you and be provided for, you should at least hold up your end of the deal. Facts. I really don't understand. Like, she's 27. So I don't want to hear any comments talking about, oh, well, she doesn't know how to be a mom. Nah, man, there ain't no excuses for this chick, man. There's no excuses. You have no responsibilities other than the home, and that's it. And I think that's kind of crazy how a lot of women complain about just being a stay-at-home mom. It's like, dude, that shit is easy. It does not take you that long, and it's not that hard to take care of your child, really. Especially when you don't have work, especially when you don't have other outside factors and responsibilities. You're not paying no bills. You ain't working no job. You ain't thinking about anything else. Like, that's all you have to focus on. And I'm sure that's how he looks at it. He's like, dude, what the hell? He's like, I'm not asking, for much here. I'm literally just asking for you to uphold your end of the bargain. I'm out here working my ass off, getting the money to take care of the bills. And that's not easy because he runs his own dental practice. So he's the boss of everything. So not only does he have to do his job, but he has to look over his employees. He has to look over people so that make sure that payments go well and the insurance is still good. And he's got a lot on his plate because he owns this dental practice. He's not just going to a job and working and then coming home. No, he's got so much more to deal with. I'm sure once he comes home, there are certain things that he has to deal with just because he is the owner and operator of this dental practice. So, you know what I mean? I don't want to sit there. I don't want any comments sitting there talking about, oh, well, all he does is just work and that's it. No. I guarantee you there's so much that goes into that. And it's why he's where he is. And it's why he makes the money that he makes. And I think it was a thing where she is just taking advantage of the situation and trying to just get away with as much as she can. And she's just like, man, fuck this dude. You know what I mean? Like, she just is just taking advantage of the situation of being like a stay-at-home mom. And, look, I give it to you. You're a good guy. You moved her in and all that kind of stuff. But she does need to step it up. It's like, if I'm out here busting my ass, working all these hours so that way you don't have to work and all you have to do is stay home and take care of the kids, and you got one kid. It's not like you got 2 or 3 of them motherfuckers. You got one. I mean, kudos to the moms out there that got 2, 3 kids, and they're home by themselves. That must be crazy. But you have one, that's not that hard. You have one kid, I don't know. I simply, she's got to do better. You are not the asshole for that, man. If you're going to be putting in all this work and then she's not going to be wanting to put anything in, it's like, what are we doing here? Why am I upholding my end of the bargain and you're not upholding your end? All right, on to our next one. Can you see how often a hookup website was used? Oh shit. All right. So I found some activity on my husband's iPad and I'm kind of freaking out. There was a website called Adult Friend Finder. What the fuck? That kind of sounds like a pedo website, if I'm being honest with you, but okay. One was Ashley Madison and the other was Local Hookups. All activity that I could see started March 2023 and ended May 2023. My question is, how do I find out if he upgraded to any of those sites or had a subscription? He was working out of town during this time, and I'm thinking he cheated while he was away. Is there any way to see the activity on those sites from a year ago? I mean, you asking the wrong guy. I don't know. I don't know. if I'm being honest with you, like if you haven't found him using any of that since May 2023 and everything's been copacetic from May of last year to now, I wouldn't even look into it. Why hurt yourself? You know what I mean? Like I truly feel like sometimes people will go looking for some shit and then that they don't want to find. And then when they find it, they put themselves, they're like, man, I really wish I didn't know this. I really wish I didn't put this out. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where it's like, don't go looking for some shit that you don't want to find out. You know, like I said, if from May of last year to now, everything has been good, you haven't found anything, you know, he hasn't been messaging nobody, whatever, I would just leave it at that. That's my 2 cents on it. I would just leave it at that, because if you go searching and you find some shit that you don't want to find, it's just going to ruin your day, your relationship, your marriage, whatever it may be. And it won't be worth it at that point. It just won't. And you're just going to be like, fuck, man, I wish I didn't know. I wish I would have just not even found out. So if I'm being honest with you, I wouldn't even go looking for it. But if you really want to find those answers, I don't know, Google it or something like that. I don't have the answers for it. You know, maybe you guys do in the comments. I don't know. Maybe you agree with me. You let me know. Yeah. Okay. Next one. Am I reacting to my husband watching videos while driving? Oh, wow. Okay. That's a little, my husband, 60 male. Damn, this nigga's 60 years old. Puts his phone in the holder where you should put it if you are receiving directions. He will watch golf videos and other videos while he's driving, even on the highway going 75 miles an hour. I, 59 female, have asked him to stop doing this repeatedly, as it's dangerous to drive without his full attention on the road. He is endangering himself and others with this stupid habit. He states that this is no different than when I listen to the radio or podcast while driving, and that he is just listening and not really watching the videos. If this is the case, he doesn't need his phone in the holder. He could turn his phone upside down and just listen. Lately, he does this whenever I need to drive someplace together long distance. I am getting so angry and frustrated that I no longer want to drive with him. I have offered to drive. I am an excellent driver and drive a territory for my job. Okay. So I have no problem driving in expressways and highways. He always insists on driving, and when we hit the throughway, he starts a video in spite of me telling him how uncomfortable it makes me. I've told him that if we are in an accident while he is doing this, someone could sue us for everything we own and they would win. He says I'm overreacting. I don't think you're overreacting at all. I wouldn't trust somebody who is literally distracting themselves while driving, because it's not even a thing of you being a bad driver. It could be even other people around you. I mean, think about it like this. If, you know, say you're cruising and he's just, you know, casually watching the video or whatever, or listening to it. And say he looks over to look at the video and somebody's merging out of nowhere. You know what I mean? It's like, that wasn't your fault. That person just merged out in front of you. But because you weren't really paying attention to the road, that person merged out in front of you and you hit them in the back. You know, or it's a thing where somebody pulls out because they didn't look behind them and you smack right into them. I mean, there's a lot of situations where it's not even your driving competency that causes the accident. It's somebody else, but because you weren't paying attention to the other person's mistakes in driving, you smacked into them, and it could really fuck it up, and it would suck, because in the event of the accident, they would actually think it's your fault because you're the considered distracted one. So, you know, it's going to be your fault, and that would really suck. And then on top of that, you guys are a lot older. So, I mean, a car crash that deploys the airbags could be detrimental to you guys. You know what I mean? You guys could easily, you know, break a collarbone or, you know, your shoulder, you know what I mean? You could break an arm, whatever the case may be. So it's like, I don't think you're overreacting at all, man. That's scary as hell. There's no way. Like, I would never get in a car with somebody who is that distracted, or if they're drunk or whatever. Like, no, thank you. That is a big no. All right, on to our next one. My girlfriend of 3 years has been cheating on me and using me for a place to live.
She belongs to the streets.
My girlfriend and I were together for 3 years in what I thought was a loving and committed relationship. Up until about 2 weeks ago, I found nude pictures between her and another guy.
She belongs to the streets.
Come on, man. After this, I reached out to her friend, and it turns out she has been cheating on me for over a year and using me for a place to live the whole time. The whole 9 months we were living together and getting this friend to help her cover it up. This friend of hers is a real piece of shit, manipulating my girlfriend into doing all kinds of things that has always hated me. Okay. Oh, I guess the friend has always hated him. It is crazy. Or is it crazy that I still want to be with this girl? Nigga!
Bruh.
What the fuck? You still want to be with this girl? And
she belongs to the streets.
Come on, man. Oh, my God. This man found refutable evidence. Her naked body being shown off to another guy. And he's like, there's a reason. Like, no, man. Come on, dude. What are you doing? You still want to date this girl? For real? Oh my, that's wild. And then you know that she's using you only for a place to live? Like, come on, like, dude.
Stop it. Get some help.
That's crazy, man. That's just absolutely crazy. I cannot believe you said that. Is it crazy that I still want to be with her, man? You know? Oh, God. You're an L, dude. You're an L. Enjoy your little hoe, bro. That's crazy. Am I the asshole for telling my husband that I no longer want to be involved with anything regarding his child? Holy shit. Okay. Background. I, 26, have been married to my husband, 27, for 4 years, and he has a child, 6, from a previous relationship. The kiddo stays with the baby mama in different Providence, right? So on to the current issue. Baby mama has, for as long as I know, Baby mama has, for as long as I know, my hubby been a bit a problem. Okay. And I'll give you a lot of time examples. All right. So as long as she knows, the baby mama and her husband has been a problem, and she's gonna give some examples. I have no idea what that sentence was. God damn, she said hubby been a bit for more problem. Okay. So 1, lied about the kid being deathly ill and on life support. What the fuck? Okay, provided a fake hospital bill in regard to the child above. All right. Lied to my father-in-law about husband paying child support, so she was receiving money from both my husband and my father-in-law.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Oh, damn, she out here finessing his dad. Lied to both my father-in-law and I about husband knocking her up again when she visited previously. No. She told the father-in-law, oh yeah, he got me pregnant again. What the fuck? Lied to my in-laws about husband hiding the kid's birth certificate. Performs every few months about how she cannot manage and is sending the kids to live with us. All right. Demands money on top of child support she is receiving. God, this chick, woo, fucking A, she is finessing not only him, but his dad too? God damn. That's just a few things off the top of my head. I tried speaking to my husband today, and I basically told him that he needs to grow a spine because she truly does take advantage of him at times, and he got upset with me and said that I'm disrespectful. What the fuck?
What did he say?
Come on, man. What? Okay. Like, how is your wife being disrespectful? Your wife got your back. What do you mean? Your wife is like, bro, wake up and smell the flowers, man. You getting finessed. You getting finessed by this bitch. And I'm trying to help you out. Like, oh. And he's over here, oh, you're just being so disrespectful. Like, nigga, your wife got your back. Oh. But here's the thing, the kids' school fees and child support are paid every single month without fail, yet she demands more money, and husband always gives in if it will negatively affect us, or even if it negatively affects us. Okay. I'm not saying that he should not support the kid, but most definitely should do that. It is his responsibility. My problem lies with the fact that she cannot hold a job, and even when she does have one, the tantrums and money stories never end. It's never a question for help. It's to pay for X, Y, and Z. Oh, so she out here just like, she'll get a job for a little bit and be like, oh, even with this job, you know what I mean? I can't do it. I can't take care of blah, blah, blah. Like, damn, man, she finessing. Previously, when I used to give advice, he would tell me, I'm not a parent, so I wouldn't know. Oh. Lately, if I speak up or give advice, he just gets annoyed with me, and I apparently have no way of speaking. He literally just refuses to grow a backbone when it comes to her. I've had it up to the end of time with this behavior from both of them, and he just can't understand that she is completely taking advantage of him, but I digress. I've told my husband many times to rather not involve me, as it's a subject of contention, and time again I have broken the boundary to give him comfort or to listen to him vent, and I'm just tired of being made out to be the bad guy. So knowing being the bad guy that knows nothing. So I told my husband today that I am standing firm on my decision this time, and I will no longer be breaking my boundaries. So he is salty. So he won't listen to you having his back about being like, hey, yo, you being finessed, have a fucking backbone with this bitch. But then when you're like, I don't want nothing to do with it, if you ain't gonna listen to me, who is on your side, and you rather listen to the bitch that's finessing you and your dad, I'm gonna step out of this, and I'm gonna let you do what you gonna do. If you want to get finessed, you go get finessed all day long, but it ain't gonna involve me. And then you want to sit up here and talk about, I have no say in this because I'm not a parent. Like, nigga, what? So, and then you want to get mad that I'm stepping out of the situation. Like, bro, what? Huh? It just don't make no sense. Make it make sense. Like, do you want me to be a part of this and help you out or not? Because it just, dude, okay, man, when I saw the title of this, I was just like, what? That's super fucked up. Why wouldn't she want to be a part of, his child's life or whatever? Like, aren't you guys married? You guys are a family now. But honestly, if I was in her shoes, I'd be doing the same fucking thing. Like, what are we talking about here? And then on top of that, is she spitting facts. She's like, bro, this chick is like toxic and she's just draining you. She is draining you. She can't keep a job. She's always got money issues. She's always, looking for a handout, whether it's from you or your dad. She really don't give a fuck about the kid, because if she did, she would be using that money to pay for more things that go towards the kid and not just herself. Like, dude, your wife is right on this one. Like, I don't know what you're doing. And then you over here don't got a backbone for nothing. Look, I understand taking care of your kid. That's 100%. But if it were me, I would have just been like, what do you need this extra money for? I'd pay her the child support, but then I'd be like, what do you need this extra money for? And if she said, oh, I need that extra money for this, I'd be like, cool, then I'm going to go buy it. You know what I mean? Instead of just giving her the money, I'd be like, cool, I will go buy that then. So that way you know, the little junior's got it or whatever his name is, you know? So it's like, I don't understand what in the hell this dude is thinking. And does he not see that he's being finessed? Does he not know that he's being finessed? I would think he would know he's being finessed. Like, the proof is in the pudding. It's right there. I don't know. You guys let me know. Is she in the wrong? Because I don't think she is. I would step away from that situation too. I'd be like, fine then, bro. Fine. After all the bullshit she been pulling, man. Okay, on to our next one. Would this be considered cheating? All right. Okay, so I could use some advice. I've been with my boyfriend nearly 2 years now. He's been texting a girl that lives in our hometown on Snap, but he never talks about her to me and never opens or replies to her while he's with me. Every time I bring it up, he gets a little annoyed. So with this feeling, I checked his phone and I found out he's been subscribing to girls on OnlyFans. I confronted him about this and he deleted his profile, but I still had a bad feeling in my gut. I checked his emails and found out that he has multiple dating profiles that he lied to me about. Oh, shit. He hasn't been texting anyone on them, but they exist. Since I've been checking without him knowing, emails have been getting deleted and so has spam. With his history on his phone, OnlyFans is still coming up along with all my links and other porn sites. While we were arguing, he explained that he has a problem, but yet won't have sex with me because he explains his insecurity. I love this boy, but I don't know if I should leave or stay. Oh, man. Girl, you gots to go. Man, you gots to go. For one, I don't ever believe in dating or taking anyone serious who has Snapchat. All right, I'm sorry. Snapchat is the biggest fucking cheater app in the world. Second to Instagram is second to that. Yeah, if I'm being honest with you. But hey, everybody's got an Instagram, so I'm like, all right, it is what it is. Whatever. I only use Instagram for the podcast. That's it. I don't really be using Instagram like that. It just is what it is. If anything, I got like a shit ton of cats and shit like that on my Instagram. But I digress. Snapchat, though, for me, I feel like huge red flag. If anybody's got Snapchat, man, hey, you a cheater, dog. Change my mind. If I'm being honest with you, change my mind. And then on top of that, it's just like homeboy has all these dating profiles. He ain't taking you serious, girl. He ain't taking you serious. Let's just keep it hundo P. Let's call a spade a spade. He ain't taking you serious. You're taking this relationship serious. He's not taking this relationship serious. And I guarantee you, he's telling people he's single and that he doesn't have a girlfriend. You know, like he's just not taking this serious. And that is pretty much enough for you to go. I know you love him and you're like, oh my God, he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. But if I'm being honest with you, you shouldn't be in that relationship with him. He doesn't take you serious at all. He just doesn't. If he did take you serious, he wouldn't even have these dating profiles. He wouldn't even be, I get, the porn side of thing. That just is what it is. Guys, when we're single, that's kind of like a rampant thing, and then when you get into a relationship, it's kind of hard to like tone that shit down. But still, I do understand. OnlyFans, I think, is a little too far just because, there's too much of a personal thing with that, like if it's just P-Hub, it's whatever, you know what I mean? P-Hub is like watching a nigga on YouTube. Who cares, you're not having contact with a girl and it's nothing like that. But with OnlyFans, it's a little more, interactable, and the guy feels like he's talking to the girl, even if it's, some fucking Indian dude or whatever that's on the computer. I don't know. But that's what I'm gonna take away from it. He don't like you like that. He ain't taking this relationship serious, but you are taking it serious, and that's why you need to get out of that relationship and find somebody who's just gonna take you serious. For being honest with you, I'm sorry. It just is what it is. You guys let me know what you think about that one though, because is he taking her serious or no? Because I don't think he is. All right. Let's go. I let my ex and her kids keep living in my house for 4 years after we broke up. Come on, man. What are you doing? What are you doing, brother? Oh, Jesus. We broke up because I want kids of my own and she can't have any more. Other than that, we're the exact same person. So if she couldn't have any more kids, why did you even date her in the first place? Like, bruh, come on, man. Like,
Bruh.
okay. Why would you even date her in the first place knowing that you want kids but she can't handle more kids? Like, come on, man. Make that make sense. That coochie was blinding the hell out of him. I did it for her kids, not mine, although they both call me dad by accident sometimes, not for her. So they wouldn't have to change schools, find new friends, all that. Miss Shaga, okay. Also, shared pets makes things complicated. We continue to share a bed and hooked up every now and then. Of course you guys do. What the fuck are we talking about here? You know, how you gonna see her laying in the bed and you ain't gonna want to smack? Like, come on, man. Until she started seeing someone else and feeling guilty. Oh, shit. In that time, I've had 3 other potential relationships fall apart because they were afraid I'd backslide. No matter how much I explained, there was nothing to go back to, and I need something she can't provide. One woman was particularly pointed in her criticism, saying a man would take a stand and kick them out. I countered, you have kids of your own. Were the situation reversed, would you want me to make you and them homeless? So what's up? Am I too nice? Am I a pussy? Her word, not mine. I don't speak that way. Was I just scared? Was I just scared I'd break her heart and lash out as an excuse to bounce? Shit, man. Damn, dude. I mean, my thing is I would just, in that kind of situation, I would help her just get a spot of her own. If I'm being honest, I would. I'd be like, look, man, you know, we gonna look for apartments. I'm gonna help you out, you know, with a deposit and first month's rent. And I'm gonna get you out of my house. Because no woman is going to date you seriously when you have another woman and her kids in your house. What the fuck does she look like dating a dude who lives with his ex and her kids? There ain't no woman on this fucking planet who is going to date a guy who is living with his ex who has her kids in the house. Come on, bro. You need to be a fucking man. You need to help her get the fuck out of your house and say, look, I'm going to help you out with deposit. We can go half on that and we can go half on first month rent. And then you up out of this bitch, you know, and that's just the way it goes. Look, I get it. The kid attachment is there. I get it. You know, you guys have animals together, whatever the case may be. That's understandable. And, you know, you could, if you feel comfortable enough, you could go visit them and still see them. You know, you could go help her out, whatever. Like, say she's like, hey, I'm at work. You know, can you go, you know, pick up little Johnny from work and take him, or Johnny from school and take him home? You know, like, you could do nice shit. Like, that's fine. But the fact that homegirl is living up in your crib is just too much. That is too much. Now, like I said, there ain't no woman on planet Earth who is going to sit there and date a dude who's got his ex and her kids in his house. It's just not going to happen, man. I'm sorry. It is not going to happen. And the longer that she's in your house, the harder it is for you to be able to move on and have another relationship. Because, like I said, man, no woman is going to do that. No woman. And I can guarantee you ladies in the comments right now are like, fuck no. You know what I mean? They're like, hell nah. I 100% think. And I even the dudes in this comment section are probably like, fuck yeah. You know, because that's just, I get it. You're doing it for morally good reasons. But the easiest way to fix this and rectify this to where, you know, her and her kids aren't homeless or whatever, you help her get into an affordable place, and then that's it. You know, you help her with deposit and first month's rent, you get her in there, and she is out your house. And then, you know, like I said, if you still have that attachment to the kids, whatever, you guys can come to an agreement and say, hey, you know, I don't mind helping you out with the kids when you're at work. I have no problem picking them up from school and, you know, taking them home, or, you know what I mean, whatever we got to do, that's totally fine. I don't mind still being a part of their lives. That's okay. You know what I mean? Like, these kids are going to need some help, and, you know, obviously she can't do it all by herself. And if you still want to be involved in that, that's totally fine, you know? But at the same time, it's like, there is no win-win, or there is no, you know, reason or benefit for you having her in your house. There's just no benefit at all. She coochie blocking and fucking it up. Oh, shit. You guys let me know what you think about that one, though. Goodness gracious. All right, our next one. Am I the asshole for telling my brother I think he mistreats his wife? Oh, man. All right. Me, 31 male, brother, 35 male, has been married to Janet for 3 years, and they have dated for 7 years before. She's a stay-at-home mom who takes care of most of the cleaning and cooking, and he's a host on a local early morning radio show. It's a cool job, but the money isn't consistent, but it's contract work. About 6 months ago, Janet was really worried about money and started looking for a job, but she's been out of the labor market for a long time and couldn't find anything. She picked up some shifts at the grocery store in our neighborhood, and Tom was livid. He called me and said she was undermining his status as the breadwinner and that it was a garbage job. He was pretty insulted that she had been looking for work at all. She quit pretty shortly after. I've noticed that she's not eating as much as she used to, and she's always really worried about money. Fast forward to this morning, Tom and I were helping out Dad move to a smaller apartment. Our mom passed away last summer, and we're all still really raw about it. Oh, my condolences. He was ranting about how Janet was a money sink and she hadn't had a job in years. Wait, what?
Bruh.
She got a job, but then you were like, how dare you get a job? And then she quit that job for you. Huh? Like,
What?
okay. All right. Let's see. Fast forward to the morning. Okay. It was a money sink, and she hadn't had a job in years, and told me that he's been threatening to divorce her if she doesn't find work before the summer. He said that it's unfair that he might have to take a job he doesn't want to pay their bills, and that she has to work too. I told him I didn't think he was being fair to her and that she always looks really uncomfortable. Her whole life is about him and their home. She doesn't have any friends and she lives really far from her family. He said that what she wants and that she's her own person and could leave him if she doesn't like it. I lost my temper and called him abusive, and then a fight exploded really quickly. It got personal and we were fighting about each other and not even talking about Janet anymore. He told me it was outrageous and horrible for me to bring this up while we were packing our mom's old stuff. He said I was just trying to hurt him because I've always been jealous of him. I don't think that's true, but I feel like a jerk anyway. Am I the asshole? I do think it's fair to want your wife to work, but this feels different. Tom has always been an emotional guy, and I'm worried about Janet. Look, man, she got a job, but you didn't like that she had a job. So she quit that job because you didn't like that she had a job. But then you want to go behind her back saying some shit like, oh, she needs to get a job. It's like,
What?
It don't make no sense. What the fuck is going on here? And then you're worried about working a job that you don't want to work because you got to pay bills?
Bruh.
Come on, man. Like, what are we doing here? Like, you got a family to take care of. Fuck about what you want to do. We got to pay bills, man. You don't think I don't want to work and do what I got to do? You don't think that the listeners right now want to go to work and do what they got to do? Nah, man. We all hate our fucking jobs. Like, what are we talking about here, man? We got bills to pay. It just is what it is. I can't stand people who have that mentality of like, oh, I don't want to do this job because it's not fun or it's not a cool job. Like, nigga, get the fuck out of here, man. A paycheck is a paycheck at the end of the day. Like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, come on, man. And then on top of that, your wife picked up a shitty job that she didn't even want. I guarantee you she was like a bagger at a grocery store because that's probably, what she could get. Yeah, and she felt like, the hours are flexible enough to where I can still be at home and take care of the kids and, have shit ready for him. And I can still make some money on the side. I can work my little 24 hours, my little 24-hour week or whatever. I'm still bringing in a little money. And she was probably going to give you all her paycheck. With the way she is, she's just like, I ain't got no friends because this nigga, I ain't doing nothing. I stay in the house. My whole life is revolved around him and the family. And I think that's great because, she's devoted to the things that matter to her. For her, that's what matters. And I think that's great. She looks at it like, hey, my man, my family, all that, our home matters to me the most. And she looked at it like, well, shit, he loves his job and I would never want him to get rid of his job because that makes him happy and that makes us money. But it's not consistently making enough money. So I'm going to just pick up a little job and I'm going to bring in my little, $600 a week or whatever. And I'll give that to him, and it'll help supplement his income. And I barely work. I'm a little grocery bagger, whatever. And but you told her to quit and then you get upset that she doesn't have a job. It's like, again, man, make it make sense. Like, what's up with this? Like, I don't know, man. You guys let me know what you think about that one in the comments, because I'm like, I don't get it. I don't get it. What the fuck? All right, this is gonna be our last one for today. Am I the asshole for reporting my teacher's boyfriend to the school? Okay, so these are fake names, of course. Me, 32 female, daughter, 14, Rachel, okay. My daughter is 32 female, and then 14, it says 14 male Rachel. But then they call him Jared later on. Okay, I don't know. I have no idea how they're doing this, but okay. So, okay. She probably just put M instead of F, maybe. Okay, this is confusing. Okay, so, me, 32 female, daughter, 14, Rachel, has been in a relationship with a boy for about 5 to 6 months. For context, we have a rule in my house that screens go off an hour before bedtime, phones and computers and etc. This boy, 14 male, we'll call him Jared, would constantly get angry at her for having to get off the phone, be it for the rule to do her chores or to even use the bathroom. He would demand to stay on the phone and her just leave her phone in the bedroom with him, just waiting there for her to come back. At first, this raised a bit of red flags because it seemed as if he was being a bit clingy, but I always chalked it up to how teens are these days. It then grew to reflect on Rachel's attitude. Anytime she had to do anything that involved being outside of her bedroom and be around family, Jared would whine and cry like a little bitch nigga. My husband, 32 male, and I had mentioned to her that this was getting to be an issue because her attitude started taking a turn for the worse because she out here dating the bad boy. She would become very short and standoffish to anyone in the house, and it came to a point where we decided to take her phone for a day before anyone comes at me for grounding my kid from her phone. Her attitude drastically improved without her phone for a day, and she actually spent time with the family, and we had a great rest of the weekend together. Yesterday, my husband receives a text from Rachel at school that she is in the counselor's office. Apparently, Jared was out sick yesterday and had one of his friends pretty much keeping tabs on Rachel because he doesn't trust her when he's not around. She had spoken to another male, and that was enough for Jared's little spy to report that Rachel was being a whore. Oh my, this nigga, come on, man. He was probably like, hey, Rachel, how's it going? Hey, did you get the homework for Sunshine? Oh, shit. Hey, yo, Jared, bro, this dude's asking about her homework. They trying to fuck. Like, bro, chill. Man. Oh my God. So he proceeded to blow up her phone during her free period and curse her out, telling her she's a whore because she talked to another male that wasn't him. We have screenshots of the nastiness he spewed at her. Here's where it gets messy. After talking to the counselor, Rachel decided to break up with Jared. I went to pick her up from school so she could take the rest of the day to feel her feelings. No sooner than we get through our front door, he messaged her saying that he wants to take his life. Oh, God, nigga.
Stop the cap.
My first thought was that this could be a manipulation tactic to make Rachel take him back, so I told her not to engage with him. Facts. Well, then her friends started messaging her that he was telling them the same thing. So I called the counselor back and told them what happened, and they said they would notify his parents. This is where I feel conflicted because on one hand, they very well could have been empty threats, but as a mother, I would want to know if my child was doing that too. My husband thinks it may cause more drama, but I don't take that kind of thing lightly because of my own experiences with that kind of stuff. So am I the asshole? No, you are not the asshole, because that is a straight manipulation tactic, and the best way to do it is to just notify his parents as well as his, teachers and faculty and stuff like that, and let them deal with it. You just inform like, hey, this is a text message that your son sent of him threatening to end himself. And I think that you should talk to him and be able, keep an eye on him, whatever the case may be, and just let them deal with that. Because it's not your daughter's problem, because it's like, dude, you're doing all this crazy shit and, making my daughter feel some type of way and all this kind of stuff. Like, bro, no. I'm not dealing with that. And then on top of that, you're kind of, manipulating my daughter to be against her family because she noticed the immediate change when she took her phone away. When she would stop talking to, this Jared boy, all of a sudden she loves the family and is hanging out with him, but when she was talking to him, she was all standoffish and bitchy and this and that. So you can already tell he was manipulating her against her own family, and then on top of that, he was manipulating her even more on the spot of, oh, you shouldn't talk to other guys, because that makes you a whore and this and that. And it's just like, no, it doesn't. Homeboy, like I said, probably asked you, hey, yo, did you get the homework, blah, blah, blah. Or he made a joke, whatever the case may be. Like, that doesn't, make her a whore just because she's talking to another guy. It's just, it's over the top, and that's something your daughter should not be dealing with at that time because, he's the insecure bad boy and all that kind of stuff. And there's just no reason your daughter needs to be dealing with any of that. And like I said, the whole offing himself thing, you notify the parents and you let them deal with that because that's their child. Hey, you say, hey, this is what's going on. I just want to let you know. Please keep an eye on him so that way nothing happens. And that way your daughter can stay broken up with this motherfucker without, feeling bad or having any guilt of like, oh, did he do it? Oh, I wonder if he did it. Oh, I kind of feel bad. I made him think that way, because she's 14 and she's easily impressionable, as we've seen. And so it's like, she can easily manipulate him he can easily manipulate her into thinking and making her feel bad about, oh, I can't believe you did that to me. I can't believe you made me feel like, I wanted to off myself and da-da-da. You know what I mean? And she's gonna be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I can't believe I did that to you. And it's like, that's manipulation, tactic 101 right there. And so I think you did the right thing by telling, the school faculty and by telling the parents and letting them deal with it. And then telling your daughter, hey, don't worry about it. He's probably not going to do it. His parents are watching him. The teachers and school advisors are watching him. That way, this won't happen to him. So don't worry about it. And she can just be like, okay, cool. And stay broken up with that motherfucker. Because, man. And honestly, I'm like, hey, W parents. Because you guys, are staying involved with your kids, but you're not, doing too much. And then don't worry about, the whole, because they said something about before anyone comes at me for grounding my kid. Nah, man, I think kids need to still get fucking whooped. Because I was getting whooped until I was like 17, okay? I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm an upstanding citizen. Why? Because I got my ass whooped when I was a kid. I believe in whoopings, if I'm being honest with you. That'll straighten a kid out real quick. You ain't got to be beating on your kids and nothing like that. I'm just saying, a good belt to the butt cheeks will straighten some kids out. Just saying, all my my 90s babies out there, you guys know what I'm talking about, because I guarantee you, y'all got the belt too. Y'all got some whoopings. Man, like I said, I got whooped. Like, my mom would always be like, oh, your dad's coming home. Man, I would hear that lock, and I'm like, oh, fuck. I'd be running, and my dad would just take the belt off his pants right there and he'd be like, wow, wow. I'd be like, I'll never do it again, Butt was stinging. Then he was like, go to bed. It's all 5 PM. I'm all going to sleep crying and shit. Like, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Kids need to be whooped nowadays. I don't give a fuck. All right? Even my daughter's going to get whooped. Like, dude, you want to be out here doing some dumb shit, I'm going to whoop your butt. Hey, shit. So you grounding your daughter and straightening her out, that helps. It definitely did. You noticed the difference. So, I ain't coming at you. I don't think anybody else would come at you, man. It's like, hey. But that is going to end today's episode, man. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I appreciate all of the support. Today's episode was a juicy one, and I really appreciate you guys being here and being there for the Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday shows. If you're on Patreon, thank you for being there for the Friday episode. Again, patreon.com/AmITheAsshole podcast. $3 a month gets you an exclusive episode on Fridays, as well as being able to send in your scenario like these people did today. Audio listeners, keep downloading and rating the podcast. That's a big support. Thank you guys so much. I love you guys on that front. Let's see, TikTok as well as Instagram. On TikTok, we reached my goal of 5K and counting. We are so close. We're on our way to that 10K. I'm hoping to hit it by June, so let's see if we can do that. Thank you guys for all the love and support over there. If you're from TikTok, hi, hello. Thank you for being a part of a full episode instead of just the clips. But I understand sometimes not a lot of people got an hour. They just want to check out some clips. They want to laugh a little bit. They want to get the best juicy parts of the show, and that's totally fine with me. So thank you guys so much over there on TikTok as well as Instagram. If you want to help even more on the free 99 side of everything, subscribing on YouTube helps out a lot. You can click on the link tree. It takes you right to there, or go to youtube.com/AmITheAsshole podcast, all one word, and that takes you right there. A subscribe helps a lot. But without further ado, that's going to be your boy. Thank you guys so much for another awesome episode. You guys are the GOATs. Thank you guys so much. We're going to get up out of here. I love you and peace.